Hi friends, it's Rachel. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today I'm so excited because I'm going to be talking about some incredible underrated makeup that has come out this year. These products are relatively new makeup products that I just haven't been hearing a lot of people talk about. And it blows me away because they are truly incredible. So if you guys want to hear what these products are and watch me apply them to my face, then keep watching. The first product I haven't been hearing a lot of people talk about is the new Ravie Beauty Signature Skin Dream Barrier Cream. And this came out just, I think, last month, so it hasn't been out for too long. But I just wanted to mention it again because I truly have been loving this so much. I truly feel like my skin has not been this good in so long. And the only thing that I've changed is this Ravie Beauty cream. It really is so good. The consistency feels kind of thick at first, but the skin absorbs it incredibly quickly. It honestly amazes me for how thick this cream is, how quickly my skin absorbs it so that makeup lays on top of it really nicely, and it keeps my skin really hydrated throughout the day. And I'm just really grateful for this cream right now because my skin gets very dry in the fall and winter as the weather's changing, and my skin has been handling the weather like a champ because of this cream. This cream has just been keeping my skin really hydrated and plump and healthy, and I'm very happy about that. So if you're needing a new thicker cream going into winter, then I would definitely check this one out. It really is so good. I've been using this in the morning under makeup and at night before bed. And like I said, my skin has been loving this, so I'd highly recommend checking this one out. I already put some of this on before starting to film, and so my skin is already very hydrated and prepped for makeup. Next, I'm going to be applying this Maybelline Grippy Serum, and this came out, it's been a handful of months, I think, since this came out, but I still haven't been hearing a lot of people talk about this. Allie Glines talks about it and loves it. She did my makeup a while back and used this on my skin, and ever since she used it on me, I have been a huge fan of it as well. It really does keep my makeup lasting really nicely throughout the day, and I honestly think that it's a better primer than the Milk Hydra Grip Primer or the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, which are two very popular and very viral primers. I think that this one is even better, so I'm surprised that more people don't talk about it. Because it really is phenomenal. It kind of has the same like tacky feel as the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, maybe a tiny bit less sticky, which I actually like, but it just works incredibly well. I'm going to be using my Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint today in the shade 112. I've just been kind of sticking to my favorite foundations lately, like the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint and the L'Oreal Skin Tint, but I did just order the new Natasha Denona High Glam Foundation. I'm so excited to test that one out, and stay tuned because I will definitely be posting a review on that very soon. And let me know if you've tried it and what your thoughts are on it. Okay, so for contour, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Smooth Blur Cream Contour Stick in the shade Halftone. I am shocked that I don't hear more people talk about this contour. It is incredibly good. I love this shade Halftone. It's the lightest shade in the shade range, and it is just such a perfect light, cool tone shade. I find that a lot of contours, like the lightest shade is not this light, like the lightest shade is deeper than this. And so I love how light this is because my skin is very pale, obviously, and it just contours my face in a very natural way. And another thing I love about it is it blends in incredibly seamlessly. This takes little to no effort to blend in. I'll show you how quickly. Like, I just kind of swipe it on the face and it just blends out so nicely. I just love it. It adds the perfect little shadow to my skin to give my face more shape, which I just love. And I also love that it isn't scented at all. That's a huge plus for me. It just looks so smooth on the skin and very blurring. I have larger pores kind of in this area of my face, kind of on the sides of my face, and it just blurs over that area really, really nicely and just kind of makes my skin look so smooth, which I really, really love. If they came out with a cream blush in this same formula, I would be all over that. I would immediately buy it. I really hope they do that because I think I would love it because it is so blurring and just so easy to blend in. It just melts right into the skin. Okay, so this is what my skin looks like with the contour on. I think it is so pretty. I love this. It's so underrated in my opinion. And this has just been a go-to contour for me since it came out. I am in love with it and would immediately repurchase it if and when I run out of it. I will definitely be needing another bottle because I love it so, so much. Okay, I actually have another contour, and that is the Morphe Shapelifter contour stick. I personally haven't been seeing too many people talk about this, but I've been absolutely obsessed with it. I mentioned this in my last video and I said I wasn't quite sure about the shade. It's more of a, like, it has a little bit more red in it. This is the Anastasia Smooth Blur Cream Contour Stick, and this is the Morphe Contour stick. And as you can see, it has a little bit more of a rosiness to it. And I wasn't so sure about that to begin with, but I've actually been really liking it and think that it works really cohesively with my skin because I do have a little bit of redness in my skin. So I think it looks really natural on me. But the way that I've been loving this specifically is actually in the crease of my eye. And I've been kind of using it as a base for eyeshadow. And then I love putting like a little bit underneath my eye as well. I think it's just so pretty. And then I like to take an eyeshadow brush and just kind of blend it in. And I love how this is a contour stick and how it's more narrow because it really does make like being precise and using it on the eyes or to contour the nose or lips just really easy. I'm gonna go ahead and contour my lips with it as well because it works so well for that too. My lips are pretty narrow, and so I can use all the help I can get when it comes to making them look more full and plump. And I really do think that this helps them look a little bit more plump. So I've been loving this on my lips as well. Now I'm gonna put on some concealer, and the concealer that I've been really loving is the RMS Revitalize Hydra Concealer. I have not been hearing a lot of people talk about this, but I think people should be talking about it because it really is a great concealer. I use the shade CN03, which is a pretty good shade match for me, maybe a touch light. This is what the shade looks like right here, and I'm just gonna kind of prime my brush and then apply it onto my face. I've been really loving this concealer, especially under the eyes because my under eyes get very dry, and this concealer isn't drying at all. It makes my under eyes look very hydrated, which I think is great. And I think if you have more mature skin or more dry skin, then you're really gonna love this concealer as well. I like it around my face too, and I have a little acne spot right there, so I'm just gonna kind of cover that up. But I mostly am enjoying this under my eyes, and I think the shade is maybe a touch too light for around my face, but I'm gonna make it work today. Like I said, I use the shade CN03 for under my eyes, and I think it's perfect and a little bit brightening, but I think maybe one shade deeper would be best for like spot concealing around my face, if that makes sense. I don't know how well you can see that, but it really does just look very smoothing under my eyes, and it doesn't crease either. This is very long wearing, but it's not too like full coverage. Like, it's a nice hydrating medium coverage, if that makes sense. A lot of times long wearing concealers are very heavy and very full coverage, but this one's not, which I really appreciate because I think it looks just more natural and less heavy under the eyes. I'm gonna set my face with my e.l.f. Prime and Stay Finishing Powder. You guys know how much I love this powder. It's so good. I've already hit pan on it and will definitely be picking up a new one when it's out. I'm gonna put some bronzer on my face now, and I'm gonna be using the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow bronzer. And I know a lot of us have been so sad that Flower Beauty is going out of business and that we will no longer be able to get the Flower Beauty Heat Wave Luminous Bronzer. I absolutely love this bronzer. It's incredible. But I've mentioned this before in a dupes video, that the Flower Beauty bronzer is honestly identical, in my opinion, to the Filmstar Bronze and Glow bronzer. These are incredibly similar. The reason that I talk about the Flower Beauty bronzer a lot more is just because it's a lot more affordable. This is $29 for this mini size, and the Flower Beauty I think was like $12. So you do pay more for this Filmstar Bronze and Glow, but you do get a highlighter too, which is nice. And this highlighter really is amazing. I use it all the time. So if you're one of those people that are very sad about not being able to get the Flower Beauty bronzer anymore, I would definitely check out this Charlotte Tilbury bronzer because it is very, very, very similar and will give you the same effect. It has the same amount of glow to it that the Flower Beauty has, and it's a really nice cool tone shade, just like the Flower Beauty. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury and this is the Flower Beauty. I think the biggest difference is that the Flower Beauty is just a little bit more pigmented, so I find that I do have to build up the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer just a little bit more, but you can get the same look and the same effect with this bronzer. Okay, my face is definitely in some need of some color, and so I'm really excited to put some blush on my face. And I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Face Bond Blush shade in the shade Backtalk. This came out this year sometime, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 months ago, but I haven't heard hardly anybody talk about it, and it is incredible. I love this blush so much. This is the perfect like cool mauve shade. It is mauve, but it doesn't have too much purple in it, but it still is definitely cool toned. So it works really nicely on my skin, and I've just been absolutely loving it. It's very matte and very blurring, but sorry, I'm just looking for my blush brush. Where did that go? Oh, okay. I'm gonna use my BK Beauty 109 brush to apply this. But even though it's matte and blurring, it's not drying at all on the skin. It is very pigmented though, so you have to be kind of careful. So I like to tap my brush in it and then dab off the excess onto my hand and then apply it to my cheeks. Isn't that shade just so pretty? I love it. I think it's gorgeous. Okay, you guys, this is what it looks like. Isn't it so pretty? I love it. I can't stop using this blush lately. I think it's so good, and I think more people need to try this blush and talk about it because it really is incredible. My cheeks look completely poreless, and I think the shade is just so pretty. Like I said, I definitely wouldn't recommend like going straight from the pan onto the face with this because you will get too much pigment. But if you just tap off the excess and then apply it to the face, it really makes for a pretty and seamless application, and it just looks gorgeous. So I would definitely recommend trying this out. There are a couple other cool toned options that are really pretty, but for my skin tone personally, I love this shade Backtalk. It is gorgeous. I just filled in my brows with the Ravie Beauty Easy Everyday Brow Pencil in the shade Deep Brown. It's my very favorite product. This isn't that new. I think it did come out this year, but I do think more people need to talk about this as well because it's incredible. But you already know I can't shut up about this. It's so good. Okay, so now I'm going to put on a little bit more eyeshadow, and I'm actually just going to be using the highlighter side of my Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow. I've been loving this as eyeshadow lately. I think it's really, really pretty, and it really works so nicely with this Morphe contour that I already put on my eyes, and then I put a little bit of the bronzer just like in my crease to set the Morphe contour stick, and then I just love this highlighter over top. It is very, very pretty. I will say it's like a tad bit golden. I don't find it to be too warm for my skin tone personally, but if you have very cool skin, like very cool undertones, then it might be a touch too warm for you, but I think it works really nicely on my skin tone personally. I'm going to take my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Whiskey, which is a really lovely cool brown, and just apply a little bit of that right on top of my upper lash line. You guys, for the longest time, I haven't been able to put eyeliner on without like holding my eye down with my other hand, if that makes sense. And I'm so proud of myself because I've been practicing, and I can now close my eyes and just apply it with one hand, which might seem ridiculous. Maybe you all can already do that, but I don't know, maybe I'm not very coordinated, but for some reason it's been really hard for me to learn to do that, even after doing makeup for years and years. I'm gonna take my pencil brush and just kind of blur that eyeliner out a little bit and just kind of soften it. Okay, I'm just doing the same thing on my right eye. Now for mascara, I'm using my Lash Sensational mascara from Maybelline in the shade Black. For lip liner, I had to choose the Ravie Beauty Soft Definition Longwear Lip Liner. I have been absolutely loving these lip liners. They came out probably 3 months ago, I believe. So not too long ago, and I have not heard a lot of people talk about these, but they really are incredible. And one thing that I absolutely love about these is that they are long wearing, but they're not a stain. I'm not a big fan of a lip stain. I feel like if you mess up, then you're kind of stuck with it because it stained your skin or stained your lips already. And also I just find that the colors can be a little bit intense and deep sometimes, which I don't really love. I love a traditional lip liner pencil because you can kind of smooth it out, blur it out, and make it look more subtle and natural. And so I love this Ravie Beauty lip liner because it has like a traditional creamy lip pencil formula, but it's long wearing like a stain is. And so you kind of get the best of both worlds with this lip liner. I love the shade Fig, which is right here. And as you can see, it has set down and it's not going anywhere. These lip liners really do not budge and are very long wearing. I'm gonna sharpen mine just a tiny bit. And I think the shade Fig goes with this Backtalk blush really nicely. So I'm excited to pair these together. Because it's so long wearing, you do have to kind of work quickly with this lip liner and kind of blend it out or kind of blur it out as you go. Okay, so this is what the Ravie lip liner looks like on my lips, and this is the shade Fig. I think it is such a pretty, like, cool, neutral shade that I love, and I think works with my skin tone and my hair color and this blush really, really nicely. For lipstick, I'm going to be using this Violetta FR Bissou Balm, which is a sheer matte lipstick, and I have the shade Bon Bon Myrtle, which is a really pretty berry shade. It is absolutely stunning, and I just love how blurring this formula is on the lips. It is really, really pretty. It just kind of blurs over lip lines and just makes the lips look really smooth. This is what it looks like. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I haven't been able to put this down lately, and I think it's a really highly underrated product. I haven't heard very many people talk about this, and I don't know why, because it's really incredible, and for how matte and blurring it is, it's really not very drying on the lips. It's very similar to like the Glossier Generation G lipsticks. They're matte lipsticks, but I find those to be just a touch more drying. So if you tried those and didn't love the feel of them on your lips, I would give these a try because they're going to give you a very similar effect, but they're more hydrating. They're not hydrating, they're just not as drying on the lips, if that makes sense. Isn't this shade so pretty though? I really, really love it, especially for the fall. I think a berry lip is just so perfect and so pretty. Alright, you guys, this is the finished makeup look. What do we think? Are we liking how it looks? I am really happy with how it turned out. I think it's really pretty. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments, and if you've tried any of these products, let me know what you think of them and if you like them and think they're underrated as well. And let me know if there are any other products that you've been loving that you think are highly underrated and that more people need to talk about. I would love to know. Thank you so much for being here and watching this video. It means so much to me. And also thank you so much for all of you who post such sweet comments on my videos. It really means the world to me, and they just always brighten my day. So thank you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.